Hi, this is Dawn, also known as Mama Love with Metal Wani, and I'm here with Karl Sanders from NILE. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thank you. Thank you
Really
very much.
appreciate you working us in.
My
So,
pleasure.
this is your first appearance on the Summer Slaughter Tour this year. How are the dates going so far? I know it's well underway at this point.
So far, so good.
Awesome, getting a great response from fans.
Yeah. That's really the best part of the tour is seeing all the fans in every venue and city.
Yeah, it's been really active.
I would say that's a great word. Very active. Yeah, especially when you see them in a pit going crazy and knocking the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
That's metal.
But anyway, I want to start by looking back on your earlier career. Back in around 2000, you put out an album called Black Seeds of Vengeance.
I remember that one.
I was hoping you would. Um, it's a really great album, and I wanted to ask you about your song lengths. Up until that point, you were averaging 2.5 minute songs roughly. And with that album, up to that point, your longest song duration was about 5 minutes. And I was just wondering, what was the inspiration for the 9 minute masterpiece known as To Dream of Ur?
Well, the goal for certain was not to create a 9 minute song. We just wrote it, and that's how long it was. I don't think any of us set out to say, okay, we're going to have a 3 minute and 30-second song. Okay, go. That's not the way it works. I mean, you write the song, and it's as long as it is.
Right. Well, I was just curious as to the inspiration for the sound on that album because it's quite different than your recent music.
Yeah, well, different albums, different things happen. That one sounds radically different than the album that preceded it, Amongst the Catacombs. Although literally it was the exact same gear, the same guitar, the same amp, same mic on the amp, the same guitar cable going from the guitar to the amp. I mean, but yet it sounded completely different.
Right. It was very technical and almost progressive in nature, progressive in nature. Were you going for that, or is that just?
That's just what we wrote.
Would you agree with that assessment of the music though?
That it's progressive. Well, it depends
Prog,
on
death metal?
how you want to define the word progressive, I suppose.
Right.
When I think of progressive, I think of like Nevermore or Dream Theater, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you cite any specific influences that shaped the sound of that album?
Uh,
You can, but you don't want to talk about it. That's an interesting
yeah.
laugh.
Oftentimes things happen and they aren't what you planned, but then you just have to deal with it, and then you end up going from point A to point B, although you didn't necessarily plan that specific route to arrive at point B, yet you find yourself at this destination point to call it. That's what the record sounds like.
Okay. Is there anything that made you trend toward longer songs?
No, I think just some of the ideas were more involved. Like Catacombs seemed to be, a simple and direct kind of album. Like, boom, we're really going for it, and the songs were really trimmed because we'd had years to, whittle away at those songs. Whereas they probably did start off just as long as Black Seeds of Vengeance songs, but the more time you have in the band room, the more time you have to like go, well, we could cut out this, cut out that, cut out this. But Black Seeds of Vengeance, that was like a year of writing as opposed to 5 or 6 years writing for Catacombs. So, the more you whittle away at it, the shorter it gets.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Fast forward to today, and in contrast to that album, your most recent work, What Should Not Be on Earth, came out in 2015. Um, has a very different feel than those prior albums. Has that what has, if anything, has changed for you over those years? Has your writing process changed in any way?
Um, between Unearthed and Black Seeds? Well, sure. I mean, that's it's a whole lot of years gone by. Certainly, the way we do things nowadays is different, um, and the mindset is completely different. So it's going to come out, different. The origins are
Right. Does
vastly
the
dissimilar.
arrival and departure of various band members influence that process, or do you pretty much stick with the
Well, Dallas and I
same
have been a
core?
constant in this band since Black Seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Really, Dallas joined, while we were, uh, had finished Amongst the Catacombs. So, you know, that's the constant. Different people come and gone in between that play, drums and bass or whatever, but drums and bass don't necessarily define the songwriting style or where you take a song. They do influence what you can do with the melodic ideas rhythmically. Obviously, if you have a drummer with this set of capabilities as opposed to this other set of capabilities, it's going to affect things, but not to the extent that changing a prime writer would. And like I said, Dallas and I have been the constant factor in the writing department for a lot of years.
Um, so you've got a lot of orchestral elements in your music, and I was curious who's responsible for those arrangements. I didn't think my questions were
Santa
funny.
Claus is. Santa Claus like sends it to us on
That's
Christmas
cool.
Eve, and yeah, because if he didn't, we'd be completely helpless and wouldn't know what to do at all.
I mean, I assume that means you are responsible for those.
Well, I prefer smart aleck answers to like taking credit because um, everybody has input into the songs. Uh, so I don't necessarily find benefit in carving things up. Oh, I should take credit for this, or he should take credit for that. Beyond a certain point, I mean, so what? I mean, everybody's contributing, so everyone should, I think, receive credit for what's going on.
Okay, well, fair enough. I can tell there's a very discernible overarching theme in your music that's related to ancient civilizations and cultures, and among other things. And there's a fine line with from the intent of the artist's point of view between theme and concept. And I was wondering if when you write, do you write from keeping a theme in mind, or do you approach it from a concept mentality?
Well, although the theme is fairly singular, the concepts that express that theme have changed with every album. Um, but really, when we're writing, we're not necessarily thinking in those terms. We're thinking of, okay, here's a song and this set of ideas. How can we take these ideas and bring them to life?
Fair enough. Excuse me. So next I want to talk about early last year, you announced that you were re-releasing your first four full-length albums on vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really cool that a lot of bands still have faith in the medium. And I was wondering what's the response that you usually get from your vinyl offerings? Or what's the
Uh,
response you did get?
Vinyl offerings do really well for us. The four album re-release from Relapse are beautiful renditions of those vinyls. Um, I remember as soon as I opened the box and I saw them, I was like, "Holy crap, these are beautiful!" I mean, much, much better done than the originals. Um, Although it's cool on the original pressing, these are not too shabby as reissues go. Yeah, yeah. I'm a fan of vinyl. I'm also a fan of cassette. Um, what should not be unearthed, and Sethu were also released on cassette
Oh, wow.
in secondary markets, and I was like really thrilled. There's a running joke we always have when we're working on a record. As soon as we think we have something worth listening to, we say bounce it to cassette, because Dallas and I used to both have cassette players in our pickup trucks. And that would be like the real test. What does it sound like on cassette in the truck? So that's the phrase. Let's bounce it to cassette.
Cool. Do you think now in 2016 that vinyl's a novelty, or do you think people are actually breaking them out and spinning them on their ancient turntables?
Well, I think people have new turntables as well. I think it's a viable medium. You can't digitally download a vinyl on cassette.
True.
It's an actual sellable medium. You can sell actual copies of it, and people will actually possess them. Do you really actually possess anything that's in a digital medium that lives on your computer? I don't know
guess
that
not
you
in
do.
terms of a solid, tangible thing
It's
you can
not.
touch.
It's not. It's an abstract. It's a collection of ones and zeros in a temporary format.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as if we're leasing any movie or piece of music that exists in ones and zeros. But a vinyl, that's real. You can hold it, you can look at it, you can smell it, because vinyl has a smell.
Mm-hmm.
You could taste it, I suppose, right? You could lick your vinyl if you wanted to. I don't know if it would help the sound any.
That's
but
funny.
My point is that it's real. Right?
Yeah.
If you can lick it, it must be real.
Okay.
On that too.
On that note, so you're, again, what should not be on earth dropped in 2015, so have you started writing anything new yet?
Nothing that I want to talk about yet.
Well, all right, that's fair enough. But we'll just rest assured that there's something in the works.
You say so.
I say so.
I mean, if I got angry enough at this interview, right, and I walked out of here and decided to never again write music because of some careless thing that somebody said, then there would not be any new,
That is true.
Yeah, so.
Well, okay, we hope there's something in the works.
There you go. I can live with that.
Okay. Being a native of South Carolina, USA, you've had the opportunity to tour some really amazing places, exotic locales, Latin America and Australia and Europe. What has been your favorite place to go so far?
I like Japan. I like Germany. We just did Russia. That was kind of fucked up. We have an offer on the table right now to go to India, but we don't know if we're gonna go yet. Right, because last time we got denied visas 8 times in a row.
Wow.
So rather than announce that we're going, we're going to wait until the visas actually get sent to us before we actually say we're going.
You can lick the visa, be like the album.
Why not? We could lick the album first, and with the vinyl still on the tongue,
put it on the visa.
Put it on the visa.
Wow.
You can actually hold one.
Well, that's interesting. Obviously, you know that Metal Wani is based in India, so that was going to be my next series of questions. Do you have any message for your fans there?
We appreciate all of you, and we'd love to come see you as soon as the gods are willing.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One last question, just as a novelty. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I already asked for that. Yeah. If I had one superpower, what could it be? It would be the capacity to make every local sound technician on the tour do their job.
Okay, that's very
That would
specific.
be my superpower. Like I'd walk in during the day and all of a sudden, the motherfuckers would fucking get their act together. That would be my superpower.
Sounds good. Okay. Well, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate it. And before
What's
we
up,
go,
Owe?